I work so hard. I work these long hours. I wake up early. I do my billing and I just can't grow my company. Well, yeah, that's because you only have so many hours in the day. Hi, my name's Devin. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way. I only know the hard way. Hey everyone, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast, where I give straightforward advice to fuel the entrepreneur in all of us. I'm Devin Dickinson, and today I want to talk to you about how grit is great, but it only takes you so far, right? And I think this is a very important one. I was hesitant to film it because I think a lot of folks tend to be, and I don't know how to say this eloquently, I'll just say it. I think a lot of people tend to be lazy, right? And so I think this particular podcast is for certain people, right? And this podcast, so I think it's very important because I've met with a lot of folks over the years that are like hard workers, right? And if you're listening to this podcast and you're someone that is pursuing your dreams, you probably are a hard worker. And I meet with these people and they're good friends of mine. Lots of people that are like this are really good friends of mine. And they're like, Devin, I work my butt off, but and I'm paying the bills and the company's good. Like, I'm glad I did it, but we've just plateaued. And, I'll look at the company and I'll work with them and we'll come up with different ideas and different ways to change and grow and evolve. And then, I'll follow back up with them a year later and I'll be like, hey, how are we doing? And we'll sit down and they'll be just equally as frustrated. They'll be like, Devin, I've just plateaued. And I'm like, well, did we do all these change things? Did we grow? Did we do these different ideas that we had before? And they're like, no, but I worked really hard, right? And these are the folks that have a ton of grit, right? This is that kind of hard-nosed, there's a lot of admirability here, right? They're the salt of the world people that probably could be you if you're listening to this. Like Devin, I work harder than anybody I know. I work harder than my competition. I work harder than my friends. I work harder than my family wants me to work. I can't work any harder. How come I'm not growing? Well, the reason is because we're not changing, right? We're working in our business, but not on our business. We've talked about this before where people are like, I just work hard every single day. And I'm like, yeah. And that's going to get you the same results tomorrow as it did today. And that got you to where you're at. But if you want a growth mindset, if you want to grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to take your company to the next level, you have to work on the company, not just you have to work on the actual company, not just working in the company, right? Not just doing the job that you've already done, but you've got to begin to get a strategy. You've got to begin to implement change. You have to maybe invest in growth. You maybe have to, and how do we do that? Well, do we invest financially? Sometimes that means we invest in our time, right? Which, hey, you may be a really hard worker doing this one particular job and you're a great contractor, right? And you're like, I work so hard. I work these long hours. I wake up early. I do my billing and I just can't grow my company. Well, yeah, that's because you only have so many hours in the day. You have to maybe not be on the job site. Maybe you have to hire somebody to be on the job site so that you can be in the office, right? So that you can hire two people to work on two job sites because you only have so many hours in the day. And if you can only be in one place at one time, because that's how physics works, you have to work on your company, not in your company, to grow your company. And so there becomes these strategies and these cerebral things that we have to do that go past just hard work. And again, I'm not like, you got to start at the hard work. A lot of people are like, well, I'm just a strategy person. I'm like, well, if you're just a strategy person, you need to work for somebody because in order to be an entrepreneur, in order to be someone that's pursuing their dreams, you got to freaking work hard before you can implement strategy. Strategy's great, but it's only great if you have the hard work. And so people oftentimes that are these head in the cloud people, they're like, oh, I have this really brilliant idea. So I'm going to raise $2 million. So someone's going to pay me to do my brilliant idea. Well, God bless you and good luck. But it probably ain't going to happen. right? What you need to do is you need to go work super hard, and then you need to implement strategy. But I'm talking to the people today that are working too hard with no strategy. And so I think about person after person that I love dearly that work so hard and are like so driven to grow, but they're doing the hard work, but they're not doing the strategy work because they can't get themselves out of the operation so that they can implement strategy and they can look at their business like a business, not a job, right? You're looking at your business as something that you're trying to grow strategically rather than just work harder at your job every single day. And so, like I said, you can have all kinds of grit, but that's not necessarily going to grow your company. You have to have the grit and the strategy and the development for growth all work together. And again, this isn't easy. Otherwise, everyone would do it. This takes money. This takes time. This takes investment. And sometimes your strategy won't work. And then you've wasted that time and you've wasted that money and you go, see, I'm not listening to Devin anymore. I'm just going back to hard work. And that's okay. But your company will look exactly the same next year as it does this year. Because again, there's only so many hours in the day and only so much money you can make during that time. And until you learn to grow your company, until you learn how to increase and make things better and to have a growth mindset rather than just a hard work mindset, until you can implement those strategies, your company a year from now will look exactly the same as it did today. This is a tough one, right? Because it's hard for me to tell people who work their tails off that like, hey, great, but you're not doing it exactly right. And they think, oh, so Devin's telling me to work harder. Nope. Not telling you to work harder. Telling you need to work on your company and get out of working in your company. I'm Devin. This is Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast. And even though this is heady and even though this is hard, if you implement it, I know it'll help.